Christmas.
This is our Christmas review. It's all sunny and all full of Christmas cheer and goodness. I think we should decorate a little, maybe put some lights up and stuff like that. What do you think? What should we do to get festive? Really? That's your best effort? That's festive? Let's start the review!
Yes, Christmas movies have always held a warm place in my heart. Lots of fond memories of staying up late, watching them the night of, waiting for a certain fat man to come down our chimney that most today would call a home intrusion. I can't get enough of this stuff.
So to celebrate, we're going to revisit one of the most revered and praiseworthy Christmas movies of all time. No, you useless waste of space, not Miracle on 43rd Street. No, certainly not the timeless classic A Simple Life. You're not even lucky enough to get Jingle All the Way. We're going to be looking at
Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. I said Santa Claus Conquers the Martians.
You sicken me.
Haven't heard of it? Not a surprise. It isn't talked about very much, and a copy of it is usually found on public domain DVDs. Now, when we first heard of this title, we thought it would be something, cheesy, horrible, but awesome in the same way The Asylum does cheesy, horrible science fiction films.
What the hell is this shit? I did put in Santa Conquers the Martians, right? That's what the Blu-ray combo pack said. This doesn't look like Santa conquering anything.
So yeah, it turns out that Santa Conquers the Martians is in fact a kids film that even has its own kids TV network with a very special correspondent.
This is Andy Henderson.
Mr. Anderson.
This station is doing an in-depth, live, on-the-scenes report of Santa. So, yeah, in this universe, Santa is never even a hint of a doubt, scientifically proven, 100% fucking real. This is honestly where I had the first problem with the movie. The ideology of Santa for a child is as serious to them as religion is for adults. Hell, Santa honestly himself is a religion. But the idea that this is fact and nothing building up his character or even one person in the universe doubting his existence makes him any more important. Heck, if you replaced Santa in this movie with another average adult, it probably would have been just as convincing. Imagine if an atheist went up to someone in church and were being really snarky and be like, prove God to me. And the person in church just turned on the TV and they're on fucking CNN. And they're just having an interview with God. That means there's no faith that needs to be built up, nor morality that needs taught. He's just there.
What? Santa's real serious shit to me.
You just did a polytheistic study over Santa Claus.
It's one of those days. Strap in.
Nixon, all right, I always consonant, I get those names mixed up, but the kids know their names.
So I know this is the early 60s and stuff, but I never knew we had midget slaves. I mean, look at the guy's face.
Everything is A-OK, Santa.
That is the face of fear. So after Mrs. Claus has a mini stroke,
Here's a mess. Hello there.
we see one of the slave labor forces has constructed what they think is a Martian. Okay, Now, I know this was for kids and had a limited budget, and this was made in the early 60s, so racism was still highly prominent, but that is straight up blackface. Green face. You know what? Fuck it. Same fucking thing.
Come along, Mr. Anderson.
So here we are introduced to the molesting Martians. They seem to be in distress because the drugs they give their kids to sleep seems to make them a tad depressed. Who the fuck would have thought that would ever happen? Their only logical conclusion to the culprit is Earth television. So they must go up to the surface of Mars to have a government meeting about kids. Because
You will go to the Dagobah system.
So here we are able to see the highly advanced Martian world. Kinda seeing why the kids are so depressed.
hey look, it's Gandalf the Green.
Well, what time of year is it now?
It is the middle of September.
No. It's actually July-wary.
Well, isn't it actually a bit closer to Auguli right now?
Give or take.
I've seen this coming for centuries.
Loving the posh, gravelly things. Very convincing.
They are born. Our electronic teaching machines are attached to their brains while they are in their cradles.
So the Martians decide the only course of action after listening to the words of their elder is to finally remove their helmets from themselves and their children, allowing for free thought and form to finally enter their minds, entering a golden renaissance age after ending the 1,000 years of oppression.
Matt. What? You guys remember what movie we're watching here? Can't use logic in this situation.
And what did they do?
We need a Santa Claus on Mars.
My mistake.
It's okay to do a sack of shit, but remember, logic is the devil, and if you ever try using it again, you might just be castrated.
So here we are introduced to our exposition reporter who wants to keep the mass populace completely up to speed with what the military and government are doing on a children's television network.
With a special bulletin. An unidentified object has been spotted in orbit around the Earth. The Soviet Union denies it has launched any new space satellites. Our radar stations are tracking the spaceship, or whatever it is. The U.S. Air Force has alerted all defense commands and retaliatory units. Stay tuned for further bulletins.
This must be the same reporter they informed about Roswell, Iraq, Watergate, and the Loch Ness Monster.
So after all of that, we see the military getting ready in the most stock footage-esque way they could possibly afford to engage the Martians in combat that we will never see in the rest of the movie. That's the Cold War period well, don't it?
Fire retro rockets number 5 and 6.
Retro rockets 5 and 6. Fire.
Look at all those buildings above ground. Why, we could destroy that city with one blast of our Q-ray.
Retro rockets, Q-rays, I don't think these aliens want to conquer as much as get a latte espresso bullshit down at the Jar Jar Bucks.
Now we are introduced to Billy and Betty, generic American white bread, that are having a wonderful, lovely morning sleeping in the woods miles away from their parents. Because I totally did that as a kid. I mean, I did. Did you? It's here they are confronted by the deadly green hipsters. I mean Martians.
This morning, 2 children disappeared mysteriously from the vicinity of Welch Lake. The police have found no clues, and it seems as though Billy and Betty Foster have simply vanished into thin air.
You know, like all of America gets distracted whenever a cute white girl dies. We regret to report that not all the children on board the school bus survived. We have identified the body of one victim, 9-year-old Becky Gunderson.
Aww.
No, wait, that's Becky Gutierrez.
Oh.
That's not news.
So the kids escaped their captors. Wait, they went through the tiny spaceship that clearly only had one way in and one way... You know what? Fuck it. I am done questioning the logic of this movie form. I'm just gonna say that Martian Dumbledore did it and move on. So they get away, but they seem to be in a slight pickle. Something's following them. What, you may ask?
No.
I mean, look at it. They're not even trying. They're not even trying anymore. I would barely think that was real as a kid. Just imagine what the heck the parents with their kids are thinking at this point. Were the costume people just like, hey guys, let's do something bad? Heck, it was probably even the director. The director probably just went down to the friggin' costume department and was like, hey guys, we need a bear costume. We only need the head, and the rest of it can just be pajamas. I mean, this guy doesn't even look like he fits in with this movie at all. Looks like he was on either the set of a random movie or just some guy at the studio just walks in accidentally and starts terrorizing kids while they're alone. Evil. Evil polar bear man.
To be fair, at least there is only 2 conflicts in this scene, so it isn't too hard to be lost in the chaos, right?
Yeah, but they cut the alien threat out for 3 minutes and completely switched plots. Plus, the Martians keep building up the secret weapon, Torg. You know that thing's supposed to be coming for Santa?
Yeah, who is Torg? They've been building him up for a while, and I haven't seen anything.
Betty, that's not Santa's house. What is it?
This thing isn't even trying to be scary. Okay, I get this is a children's movie, but come on! The original Doctor Who that came out a year before and was given probably a smaller budget than this made the Daleks, one of the scariest monsters in all of time, basically trash cans on tricycles. Hell, even the Cybermen that came out 3 years later looked more convincing than this, and they had socks on their heads.
Well, to be fair, it did set itself up for the same type of cliffhanger ending as a classic Doctor Who episode would.
You edited that in, didn't you?
Nope.
The Martians invade Santa's workshop with Torg, and Santa quickly stops him by telling him he's a toy? Well, I'm not really sure how that works, but okay, I'm just gonna go with it.
So the aliens come in and stunt the workforce in Spazilla. Santa's not a happy camper.
Why did you have to do that to my helper?
Oh, that's the face of a serial killer.
So the Martians leave the kids alone in a locked room with an old man that has a history of looking at children without their knowledge.
Tell you, it was the biggest chimney I'd ever been in.
I don't like where this is going.
And then suddenly I realized it wasn't a chimney at all.
Stop!
It was the smokestack of the Queen Elizabeth.
Droppo drops in on the prisoners, bringing them their daily dose of sedatives digested as food pills.
Well, is it all right if I have your chocolate ice cream?
Sure.
Oh, I just love chocolate ice cream.
That apparently make him orgasm when he consumes their deadly nectars.
So, after having to sit through a sex story with Santa, one of the Martians burst in that the kids sense aren't too fond of them. Or he's overly fond of them. It's actually really hard to tell in this scene. 4,
3, 2, 1.
Wait a minute. If it's a cliffhanger or anything, it's over?
Oh, Matt, you fucking idiot.
The leader of the Martians discovers the sinister plot and deals with it the only way possible. Star Trek fight moves!
Merry Christmas, everyone!
Santa Claus, you're all right. I thought you would...
Luckily, Santa escapes and decides not to press charges for attempted murder on himself and children. You sure this is Santa and not an insane person escaped from the hospital? Because I'm pretty sure Santa would not try to cover up the death of children!
And you're so big.
Why, you're talking to Santa Claus, son.
But how? Well, now, you wouldn't want me to tell my secret, would you? Oh, poor man. He's fainted. just like someone who's seen a ghost.
So upon arriving on Mars, Santa immediately gets to work on solving the lazy Martians' problem. In probably one of the most disturbing scenes ever recorded on film. So after that painfully disturbing scene, it turns out the Martians aren't going to let Santa go home, but instead replace his midget slave force with child labor. The 60s, everyone.
But it seems that Drapo wants to be part of the fun in all of this and wants to be Santa and the plot convenience at the same time. And this scene. Just this scene. I have nothing else to say about it.
Chocolate cake. Banana split. With whipped cream.
I don't think you should be letting your children ever.
Oh, my finger isn't tired.
But evil is afoot, as Hitlerman and some goons that appear just the fuck out of nowhere that were never explained in the plot. You know what? Screw it. Break into the lab and sabotage at the same time and turn into the Three Stooges for no fucking reason. Drapo is mistaken for Santa Claus and captured, I guess.
Santa discovers that the slave labor isn't doing their jobs very well and is about to bust a cap in their asses when they discover it was actually the evil Dr. Bland villain and his lackeys.
Drapo escaped the highly advanced nuclear weapons computer by switching the light bulbs.
Permanence.
Okay, I just want to come in and freeze frame and say that there is absolutely nothing stopping him from just popping and killing each one of these guys. Nothing whatsoever. So Drapo becomes the new Santa, everyone can go home, and the audience realizes it's wasted an hour and 20 minutes of their lives that they can never get back.
So that was Santa Claus Conquers the Martians.
And what do we think of it?
Well, on the whole, it actually isn't the worst movie I've ever seen. There are terrible sets, horrible acting, extremely terrible costumes, but that's what makes it so enjoyable. The plot itself honestly isn't that bad, and with a different crew, it could have possibly been something way better.
When we both saw that this is ranked as one of the worst movies ever, we surprisingly enjoyed it throughout the film, even though we wanted to straight up hate it. On the whole, it's honestly worth a watch, especially with the extremely catchy theme song.
S-A-N-T-A-C-L-A-U-S are ready for Santa Claus.
Just make sure afterwards to explain your kids about equality among other ethnic groups.
So, from all of us here at Mostly Reviewed, we want to wish you guys a very happy... Garth, what do you have?
It's a light bulb. Like this on the nuclear curtain.
Oh, we can leave now?
We can leave.
Are you sure you switched the right light bulbs?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
You're positive?
I'm pretty sure.
I'm gonna go try it. Happy holidays.
And that concludes our episode. I think I need a new co-host. See ya!
S-A-N-T-A-C-L-A-U-S are ready for Santa Claus. S-A-N-T-A-C-L-A-U-S are ready for Santa Claus. Ready for Santa Claus. Yeah, for Santa